Okay, so yesterday, whatever. Sorry about that. So, yesterday I stayed most of the time in bed. My head hurt so bad. Whatever they were fucking hitting me with was causing vertigo so bad. I was so sick yesterday. But this morning, and there's something else happened, but I'll get into that in a minute. So this morning, this Jordan Rizwo account emails me and starts to fucking harass me. It's either one of two people. And so in the email, as you can see in the photo that is the picture for this video, they admitted to breaking and entering into my house and stealing not only my old Dell laptop that's 20 years old, but the nice leather bag that it was in. And I knew exactly where the fuck this thing was because I just put it there just no more than a couple months ago when I had to dig out Christmas stuff. Hey, Saki. And so they admitted that they broke into my house and stole this old laptop, thinking that I'd be, oh my God, they stole my laptop. Well, I'm not a criminal. I don't do freaky fucking things. I'm not like that. I don't do freaky things online. So since they're admitting that they broke into my house and stole a laptop, which is gone, I called 911. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when someone breaks into your house? You call 911. It was a much different experience today, though. The woman at 911 didn't direct me to an FBI office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. They actually took my information. And then she said, I'm going to have a deputy call you back. Is that okay? It'll come from an unlisted number. I said, that's fine. So, I don't know, 15 minutes later, a deputy called me back. But it wasn't an unlisted number. He didn't cover up his number. And we ended up talking for 45 minutes. I told him, I have nothing against the police. But when the police protect the criminals, I have a problem with those police, which is what I'm experiencing with Neil Gross, which is what I'm experiencing with Chad Butler. But the deputy white kid that they just sent over to my house, he was totally nice. He was totally fine. In the 45-minute conversation that I had with this deputy, he asked me who I thought was involved. So I gave him the list of names of all the people that I believe is involved. Told him that all of the emails have gone to Neil. Neil has all of them. And that Shadow Dragon is what? Cass County, Polk County, Denison is only 30 miles away. He knew exactly what I was talking about when I told him the Shadow Dragon program. It's built to figure out who fucking child traffickers are. If they can find out who just admitted breaking into my house and stealing an old laptop, which is now gone, all they have to do is figure out who that person was involved with around me. And it's not like these people are unknown, you know? And so I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't. Because I had my hopes up with Neil Gross for 3 years and he was dicking me around. And I just got my utility bill today and it's $100 more than what it was last month. When I told the people at my bank who also live in Harlan, who live in way bigger houses than I do and have families how much the utility company is charging me, their mouths dropped open. It's not hard to figure out that I'm being fucked. They're trying to make it so hard on me that I move out. And so the whole thing about it is that I think that things are now starting to take a shape of its own. And people are actually starting to listen to what I have been saying. You know? Oh, yeah, they just sent me a disconnect. The month before they sent me a disconnect notice, had people not helped me, I wouldn't have been able to pay. They would have shut me off. Last month, they sent me a disconnect notice. After raising my bill $100, they sent me a disconnect notice. And then, but it was a week after I had already paid the bill. And so now, this month, it's another $100. And it's just me. And I keep my heat at 58. You know? And this has been the first year. It's not like I haven't lived here for years. They can go back and look and see that my bills in the wintertime drop drastically. I pay more in the summer because of the air conditioner than I do in the winter because I prefer it cold. But they're trying to actually shut me down. I'm hoping that this deputy is for real. I'm hoping that the deputy is for real. Neil wasn't in the office today. Even if he was, I wouldn't have spoken with him. You know, he works for the bad guys. And maybe this dude was just blowing sunshine up my ass. Maybe that has been the history here. But there's a part of me that just hopes that they're actually taking what I'm saying seriously. You know, the fact that they knew that I had a 2005 Dell laptop and they're throwing it in my face and it's now gone, I would have never realized it was gone until that email this morning. So I went downstairs to see if it was still there. Nope, not there anymore. So I called 911. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when someone breaks in and robs you? You call 911. Isn't that how it's supposed to work? I told him I'm tired of everyone expecting me to do this investigation. And then what am I supposed to do? A citizen's arrest? You know, that's what's expected? Because that ain't going to happen. You know? But, so yesterday, I'm sick. Oh my God. I spent the entire day in bed. Whatever they were jamming at me made my head hurt so bad. That electrical hum was so loud. And it's causing vertigo. It's causing vertigo. You know? And it's their directed energy weapons. It's the shit that they've admitted that they have and that they're using on American citizens. It's just that was done so the rest of the world can see they were safe. That's what the Air Force told Congress in 2006. But it's now 2025. And I guess Voldemort is next door, waving a magic wand, causing it. You know? And I'm not the first person who has said they've been attacked by these weapons and the symptoms are all the same. You know? It causes vertigo because it causes brain damage. You know? And so yesterday I wake up, and if you go look at my live that I did, the last live, I talked about the journey that I did. And the fact, hey, Sherilyn, hey, everybody, you know, the fact that I did the journey the day before yesterday, you know, in the morning. And then I did a live talking about it. So yesterday I wake up and I'm laying in bed, not feeling well, but I was flipping through YouTube just because I like to catch up on news that way a lot of times. And a post comes up from this dude named Dutch Sense. And you can see the video that I did this morning of it. But he shows where all of the earthquakes that we've had, and we've had a serious amount of earthquakes in the past 7 days in the United States. And he showed where they all were, and they follow exactly to the edges of the North American craton. So I think that is going to be the result. It's not going to be that the new Madrid goes off. I have a feeling that what I did the day before yesterday enabled heaven to move the fucking whole plate under the United States. I mean, obviously, I have nothing to do with all the earthquakes that have happened in 7 days that are following the edges of the North American craton. Obviously, I'm not in control of that. But something tells me when I was told that the new world is in for some shit, that's what it was talking about. And so when that volcano goes off on the coast of Oregon, and now they're saying that Yellowstone is getting ready to explode, it's going to have an eruption. Hasn't had an eruption in 638,000 years. But it's about ready to have an eruption. When that relieves the pressure, I have a feeling that the North American craton is going to shift. And when it shifts, everything that's built on it is going to come down. That's how it works, you know? And so I think that's what's coming. I think that's what's coming. I think fill your hearts with love. Because if your hearts aren't filled with love, you're fucked. You're going to get claimed by the dark. The message is simple. Fill your heart with love. But most right now are so busy celebrating hatred and anger. You know, Peppermint Patty down at HMU. I know that she has a lot to do with it. She is a vindictive bitch, and she's helping them. She's the one who convinced me that the dude was dying of brain cancer 4 years ago. You know? And if I could give her any advice, she needs to slow down on the meth because she has the Skeletor look, you know? And that's why they're all defending each other. But they can send me an email bragging about breaking and entering into my house and stealing shit out of my house. That is how so secure they are. And they're very focused on me having a job. Where my finances are coming from. The slime king can't send me enough emails. Bitching about how I need to go get a job. Said specifically what the computer was. Specifically. 2005 Dell laptop. You know? Knew specifically what my old, and it was 20 years old. It had to be replaced because it overheated. I kept it because it had a lot of my old YouTube videos on it, and it had screenshots of all their shit. You know? I never said what year it was. I didn't even know. 2005, though, sounds right. My old Dell computer. You know? They broke into my house and then had to brag to me about it. I would have never known it was gone because it's not something I'd go look for. You know? When the deputy asked me today when the last time I saw it, I said, sure, I saw it. The second week of November, because it was in where my Christmas shit is and I had to rearrange everything. So I knew exactly where the fuck it was. You know? I knew exactly where it was. And they'll just do whatever the fuck they want to me. They'll just do whatever the fuck they want to me. And then laugh about it. You know? It's just bizarre. And why? Because they're a bunch of fucking child killers. You know? There's a bunch of child killers. But for the first time in so long, the detective actually asked me questions. And they were legitimate questions. And he was friendly. And he was polite. And he was asking what I felt were the right questions. Who do you think it was? You know? I said, I know exactly who part of it is. They dance around like baboons in heat. They want me to know. You know? So I name names. That's what you do to the police. If you know they're doing something, you know? I haven't talked to Neil Gross, won't talk to Neil Gross. But when it comes down to it, someone needs to run for that office and get him the fuck out of there. Because now, and it's not like, it's like I told the the guy today. You sent that Officer White over, that you know, and he was super nice kid in his 20s, but he was nice, decent, you know. RJ is a guy in town that works for the sheriff's office, you know. He works up with the kids, you know. Is that Chris Watts' case or Christ Watts' case? Nicole Kissinger connection. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about it. I've been so busy trying to keep up with my own crap. You know, I have no clue how I'm going to come up with damn near $500 for that utility bill next month. I have no clue. I'm not going to eat. My animals aren't going to eat. Because what am I going to do? Let it go? I am feeling a bit better. The vertigo is still bad, but I got out of bed today. I couldn't, my back hurt laying in bed. But whatever they've done to me has caused serious vertigo. You know? Osiris just keeps coming up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that they're on top of me. And now they're bragging about stealing shit out of my house. And what's next? They're going to go murder everyone that I know? You know? There's nothing that stops them with anything. That sun in my eyes is kind of, but anybody who wants to buy a book, $30, you know? My PayPal and my Venmo are just D. Shurter, you know? He killed his wife and put them in oil batteries in Colorado. There seems to be a lot of that going around, you know? I need a miracle, is what I need. I need God to intervene. But the fact that I did what I did the morning before, you know, I think that's going to have a difference. That's the reason why I was told that they were totally inconsequential. That what's coming they're totally inconsequential, and the bullshit that they're doing is totally inconsequential, which is fine. But shamanically with heaven, when they tell you something's going to happen, time works different on the other side. So when they say, oh, it's going to happen, that fuck, it could be 20 years. You know, the time is different. The time differential is quite something. Chris Watts, is that? I mean, he was fairly good looking in Colorado. You know? And he wanted to go be with his girlfriend. So go be with your fucking girlfriend, dude. Do you have to kill all your family and your kids? Jesus can't come soon enough. You know? That's how it works, I guess. You know? That's the reason why God has to deal with this, because evil has no boundaries whatsoever. When I tell you that they do shit to me and then they brag about it, this morning is just another example. They broke into my house and stole shit out of my house. How the fuck did they know about a 2005 Dell laptop? It was pretty specific. And so I went downstairs to see if it was still there. And it's not. You know? I told the detective today, I don't care. There's nothing incriminating on it. I don't do things that are incriminating. You could show up right now. If you show up right now, I'll give you my laptop now. Take it. Go look at it. There's nothing weird on there. I don't do weird shit. You know? It's pretty hard to serve God and do weird shit. But since I know that they listen to these, the Australian Blood Diamond dude and the Slime King and your whole fucking group, I can't block you off of Google. I don't know how to block you off of Google. But fucking Outlook allows me to block your asses. Stop emailing me on that Outlook account. You have my Gmail account. That should work fine. You send me shit on that Outlook, and I'm gonna block your stupid ass. You know? I'm gonna block your stupid ass. Oh, Geo. Is Geo in here, Dark Mountains? You know? Can't say a word, but thinks emojis actually say it all. You know? That's because they're in a child trafficking operation. But you want to know what? You want to know who stands out in the light, calling them out, who's not fucking hiding in the shadows with all these fake ass accounts and all this bullshit that they do? Me. I don't play their bullshit. They're the ones who hide in the fucking shadows. What do criminals do? They hide in the fucking shadows. You know? Oh, Mouse, I already blocked you because you were Doug Mesner, Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. And I would be willing to bet that you're in here now because I would be willing to bet that you're Jordan Rizwo too. The very dumbass who sent me the fucking email. You know? But the officer that I talked to on the phone knew exactly what the Shadow Dragon program is. Knew exactly the Shadow Dragon program. And you fucking admit to a crime. You know? You think you're smart and you did it in a way that, oh, no one can figure this out. Could you have been more fucking obvious, dude? Could you have been more obvious? It's not like your brain works. Too many goddamn drugs, too many STDs. That's how it works. Hey, Beverly. You never lived in the duplex, dude. You were never in the duplex. You were in Tacoma. 23 miles away from me, and were too afraid for 4 years to face me like a man. broke into my house, fucking hid in the goddamn shadows, played all fucking kinds of games. You know, you didn't plant shit. You're just involved in the group that does. You know, you're just involved in the group that does, Dougie. And they're gonna be looking at your after school, satanic temple after school daycare, because they're more than aware that's how the kids are getting targeted. With all the pedophiles that you have associated with that you never thought anybody could call you out on. That's why you're in here now. You know? That's good that you know Officer Ryan Miller. That's good, Dougie. That's good. And I'm going to leave this shit on here. Just so you know I'm going to leave this shit on here. Because I know it's you. You just can't come in the other, Trosser mouse? Because I already blocked that. You know? Ryan Miller is, and so is Neil Gross. And what did Neil Gross do? He hit a terrorist attack. Your group put a bomb in that gas station. That's the reason why the official report doesn't match up with everything that was going on in there. You know? With everything that was reported that day. You know? Oh, well, if you're going to retract your messages, bye-bye. That's what they do. When they start talking about shit and then you call them out, then they want to play games and then they go retracted. Because online they're legion. They think they're legion. They're everybody and everyone and everything. But what's starting to happen is that I'm starting to realize that not all cops are bad. Not all cops are actually involved with all this bullshit. There are actually some decent cops. Officer White that came to my house, Deputy White. He was cool. You know, I knew exactly who called the shit in because there's only one person who could hear it. It was 15 degrees that day. It wasn't like there were a bunch of people. I know exactly who called it in. The very one I told him is helping them break into my fucking house. The whole same group. Same group. You know? But now I'm facing a $500 utility bill. Like I said, next month. I won't be eating and neither will my animals. Because the bills, what am I going to do? Freeze to death in my own house? But that's what they want. They want to run me out. That's what they want to do. And they break into my house at will, and then they brag about it. That was Doug Mesner. Jordan Risro, that's why he's in here fucking doing all of his weird ass shit. And then when I call him out, he redacts all of his messages. So nobody can see them. So they're redacted. You know? That's what he does. That's the stupid shit I have to deal with. You know? But if they run that email through that Shadow Dragon program, there'll be none of that anymore. Because they're going to figure out who. And your dumbass lists the whole list of them, which is what I told that detective. If you want to know all of the fucking email addresses, just go into the Jordan Riswo. He included all of them. No, they won't stop. If they get me out of the house, they won't stop. If they get me out of the house, they're going to end up fucking taking me out, which is what they've tried to do repeatedly. You know? I pray about everything. I pray about everything. I pray about everything. But you want to know what? Oh, see, now here he's now. Mouse number 1. You know? Let's just take screenshots this time. That way you can erase whatever the fuck you want, dumbass. You know? And they're all connected. They're all connected. The Dead Isaac Cappy Club and Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, they're all connected. They're all connected with all of this child trafficking bullshit. This Nazi bullshit. But they break into, they're criminals. They're criminals. You know? Murdered Owen. Bragged about it. Posted live videos on YouTube. Thought they couldn't be called out. Murdered Isaac. Now the story has changed. Now instead of I didn't know Isaac, I drove under an overpass and knew exactly what minute I drove under the underpass, even though I didn't know the dude and there was no police presence. But I can tell you to the minute. Then I get involved with this, and suddenly the story changes of, okay, I wasn't driving under the overpass. I should be heralded as a hero because now I was actually on the bridge with the same dude that was posting live videos when my best friend dropped over dead. With the same dude on the bridge with Isaac. You know? And they think that their stories are okay, that they're totally impervious. No one can touch them. No one can touch them. They can brag about breaking into my house and stealing that they had to go through my entire storeroom to find. So they were in my house long enough to just go through everything. You know? Why do you think that email, they were so specific about the computer? You know? Why do you think they said 2005 Dell laptop? They might not have said Dell laptop, but it was a Dell computer. You know? I don't remember it. I'd have to look at it to make sure that it said laptop, but they gave more than enough information to the Dell laptop that is now missing from my house. You know? They stole it because they figured, oh, he'll have some incriminating things on here. You know? Which is what, when you go look at that video I sent this morning, and I sent all that shit to the sheriff's office, I told him obviously it doesn't have anything incriminating on it. If it had something incriminating on it, we'd be having a different discussion right now. But it doesn't have anything incriminating on it. Well, how the fuck would they know that there was a 2005 broken Dell computer in my storeroom? How the fuck do you troll someone like that? You know? Pretty fucking specific to be a troll. And it's gone. You know? And I knew exactly where it was because I just put it there, the second week of November? You know? I'm tired of people making excuses for him. That's what I'm tired of. It's never anything like what I said. It's just some bullshit opinion from people that are online who don't experience it, don't have a fucking clue about the people involved. They just have an answer for why it doesn't matter. And it gets irritating to deal with. Because that's what every survivor deals with. You know? Fuck, they could post a video of them murdering Owen. And some of you would tell me, oh, they're just trying to troll you. They're just trying to troll. It doesn't make any difference. Nothing matters to anything else. They're just trying to troll you. It's not real. You're just overreacting. You know? Fuck. What does it take? You know? What will it take? But I think that the officer that I talked to today, he asked all the right questions. He did. And he asked legitimate questions. And we laughed on the phone. You know? He laughed on the phone. It's not Satanists that I have a problem with, dude. It's Luciferians. It's the fucking ones that believe in the Antichrist. Satanists going against the Catholic, the Christian religion and all that. Shit, most of you aren't even Satanists. You're atheists. Just like Doug, who started the Satanic Temple, wants to tell everyone, you can't come at me because I'm a Satanist. But you're not a Satanist, dude. You went out of your way to make sure that people knew that you were an atheist. So you're not. So no one's religiously discriminating against you. So you can't use the same argument that Michael Aquino used. Michael Aquino, founder of Temple of Set. The whole you can't discriminate against me because I'm a Satanist doesn't work when you're not a Satanist. You're an atheist, you know? So how is there religious discrimination? You don't have any, you know? What you are is a liar. You are presenting yourself as one thing when you're just out and out saying that you're something else. That's called a fucking lie. Just saying. It's a lie. And you know what? The 911 operator told me that Neil Gross wasn't in the office. Do you know what the officer that I talked to on the phone said? Neil Gross isn't in the office. I'm wondering why Neil Gross isn't in the office. And it's the way they said it that makes me think not only is he not in the office, but he might not be in the office for a bit. So what's going on? You know? Because the last time I called, they sent me to a 911 or an FBI office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. You know? But today, I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't. And yet I do. You know what I'm saying? You know? I don't. And yet I do. Because it makes me think that they're actually looking into something. You know? And I can't be more overjoyed. You know? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I always tell people that I'm a pessimistic optimist. I always expect the worst, but I'm always hoping for the best. You know, at least not as bad as what I'm expecting. And who knows? It could have been a fucking blow sunshine up my ass. Because how long do they think I'm going to be able to maintain my house with my bill going up $100 every month? You know? And are they fucking me at the utility place? Is Peppermint Patty fucking me at the Peppermint place? Or at the HMU? Or are they breaking into my house and doing shit to my utilities? Because they're obviously breaking into my house. They fucking admitted it. And then told me about something that they stole that's missing. How would they even know it was there? You know? No, you're coming through. I will say that you did yourself no favors. Talking about music and just because the Slime King does the same fucking thing. And the problem is that there are other people who actually had the same questions. So it's not just me. But I'm not playing anymore. I think the fucking North Craton, the North American Craton, is getting ready to move. I think that was just what I was told. The new world is in for some shit. And it's going to claim all of them. All of them. It's going to claim all of them. On both sides. All of them. If you're in America and you're involved with this, because if the North American Craton moves as a whole, America as a whole is fucked. And so is Canada. You know? So is Canada. Which, if they know, well, Yellowstone is getting ready to explode. They're now actually saying that, just right out loud. You know? The North American Craton won't touch Mexico. It goes down. That's the reason why shoving that sword, Father asking me to shove that sword into the heart of the New Madrid. The New Madrid starts at the very base of the North American Craton and goes straight up. On the one side of Nebraska, it's right in the middle, you know? It's no better on the other side. That super volcano in Italy is getting ready to go off as well, you know? So they're going to have their own shit. And isn't Belgium already having earth volcanoes, you know? And now they're saying there's a volcano underneath the ice caps in Antarctica, and it's having problems now. So, you know, I need a miracle, though. If it's not going to happen, I need a miracle, because if I don't get a miracle, I'm not going to have money to feed myself or my animals next month. I make $950. I have insurance payments. I have a phone payment that I have to pay. And now I'm going to have to pay my utility company $500. What's raising my utilities to $500? And when I went to the bank and told these people, they have bigger houses and they have families, and their bills are nowhere near as high as I am. And I have a tiny house. It's just me. You know? Oh. You know, the whole thing about it is, you want to know what? I'm on disability for a fucking reason. And you don't need to worry about my finances, because I know you're part of the Dead Isaac Cappy Club. You're real focused on my finances. That's the reason why Social Security told me there's been a myriad amount of attacks on my account when it comes to, they've been trying to actually steal my identity on my Social Security. You want to know what? Fuck you. You know? Fuck you. And you come in here with a fake ass anonymous account. You know? It's funny how you're also focused on my finances. You know? You break into my house. That computer ain't gonna do shit for you. What you're gonna see is all your shit. All the screenshots. And if you think it's only on that computer, you're a fucking dumbass. You know? There's nowhere to drop off the grid. Like, I give a fuck, dude. Like, I give a fuck. You know, I'm not gonna fucking argue with you the whole time. You know? They do the same thing every time. It's never the same. Their game is never the same. It is always the same. You know? It's always the same. And now they're in here with 2 accounts. You know? That's the new game now too. You know? I'm just... more games. That's all it is. More games. More games. It's all just bullshit games. Because they think everyone is going to be bamboozled by their bullshit. And somehow it becomes my responsibility for dealing with it. You know? I think the fire in LA is going to be the least of our worries here very soon. Very, very soon. If in doubt, kick them out. That's just it. I'm not playing any goddamn games anymore. I'm so fucking sick of the Dead Isaac Cappy Club and fucking child killers and all this bullshit that they want to hide in the fucking dark. They're breaking into my house, stealing my shit. Now I have my bill from one month to another went up another $100 every fucking month. It's another $100. You know? They've had shit in my house. They've had that fuck. Like I said yesterday, I spent the whole damn day in bed because the stuff they were beaming at me was making me sick. It's hard for me to eat because if I start getting dizzy, then I want to throw up. That's how it works. The vertigo is awful. I think the only reason it's a little bit better today is because I went to Omaha today. I just had to get out. I just had to get out of this house, you know? And so, but I have $1.50 to my name until the end of the month. And at the end of the month, I still won't have any money because they're very focused on my finances. They did identity theft on Social Security. So anything that I have to go in, I have to go in person. Now, because there was a myriad amount of attempts at identity theft regarding my Social Security, you know? No, but they live an alleyway away. There's only an alley. They're less than 50 feet away. They're not even 20 feet away from my house. They watch when I come and go. I know exactly who they are. They dance around like fucking baboons in heat, which is exactly what I told the officer today. You know? They didn't want to talk about Chad Butler either. It was weird. The conversation was really weird. It was nice, you know? He and I actually laughed a couple times on the phone because when I feel like I'm being heard and not disrespected, and I feel that the police are doing their job, it goes really well. You know, I'm really not that big of a dick. I seem like it when I come on here, but it's, you know, this is different. This is not real life. Me being on here is not real life. How long has it been? You guys don't ever see me with my hair down. The reason why my hair is down, to be quite honest, is because to pull it back and to tie it back causes a fucking headache of the likes I can't. It makes the headache so much worse. And so I'm not pulling my hair back right now. You know? I have gone around and checked for devices that they've installed. You know? I'm just... Thank you. Down is because it's fine now. You know, tin hats don't work. What happens when you stick tin foil? It's the same thing. You know? Don't put tin foil in a microwave. You know? Dude, you're a freak. Thank you. I call it your relaxed hair. And a bow tie. Unfortunately, with the bow tie right now, a bow tie around my neck and have any kind of pressure around my neck when I start to get vertigo is just, it's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare, you know? I mean, I had $30 to my name today and had to put $28 in the tank. That's really the reason why I went down to Omaha, is because I needed to go get gas. And it's way cheaper. Out here it's $3 and something cents. Down there I got it for $2.55. You know? How long have I had vertigo? A week. A week. And it started with the shit. Whatever they were beaming at me felt like they were drilling into my fucking head. It hurt so bad in both beds. And it's a loud electronic humming sound. And I'm able to dissociate and go to sleep. But what? Not the last live, but the live before last. I said I'm doing a live because I'm afraid I'm about ready to have a stroke. And if I'm going to have a stroke, I'm going to do it on live video. Because I slept, and when I woke up and I opened my eyes, And it took me a minute to be able to figure out how to get out of bed without vomiting. And then even when I got out of bed, I had to lean against furniture because the room was spinning. It took me 5 minutes, about 5 minutes to get everything calmed down, you know? And I like long hair. I started growing it when I was in Seattle, when I was in Washington, because I couldn't afford the haircuts. And I got to the point where it got long and I liked the long hair. Then when I came back to Iowa, right before I came back to Iowa, I had them hack it all off because I didn't think it would go well here. And it really doesn't go well here. But I've just decided, fuck it. And really, when it comes down to it, I can't afford haircuts. You know, for me to cut my hair short and then to keep it short, $30 to $40 every 6 weeks. I can't afford that. You know, it's just best to let it go. You know, and it's a pain in the ass. It gets in my mouth when I sleep. It's a pain. It can be a huge pain in the ass, but you know, I can't cut my own hair. If I want to look like that dude in that last movie of, you know, Corey, not Corey Haim, but the other Corey that was in Friday the 13th as a little kid, hacked his hair, that's what my hair would look like. I'm already unattractive enough. The last thing I need is to look like I went to a butcher to get my hair cut. And that's what it would look like. So I don't even cut my hair. You know, my hair is thin and it's thin. And I have a big bald spot on the top of my head. You know, it's funny when I got the cameras installed in the outside, I was watching the cameras and it was like, who the fuck is that bald-headed dude walking around? And it was me. But I had never seen the back of my head before. It's not like I look at the back of my head. I could be a monk. I don't know if you could see it, but it's bald. So really, when it comes down to it, I really like long hair in the summertime because I don't really like to wear hats in the summertime because my head gets hot anyway. And so if I pull it up and put a bun up here, it protects my head and then my head's not getting sunburned. That's the whole reason why I kept my hair long in the summertime, because it was more to keep my head from getting sunburned, you know? And so, I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm worried about finances in a way that I can't even begin to describe. And they're breaking into my house now, stealing shit and bragging about it. You know? But fuck, they came into town and murdered Owen and bragged about that. And is my conversation with the deputy that I talked to today going to go anywhere? I don't know. I hope so. Do I have a lot of faith? Unfortunately not. You know? I've been dicked around in all of this for so long, so many times. You know? I don't know. But I will say that that journey that I did where Father had me lop all their heads off, and then the same sword I used to lop all their heads off, he made me shove it into the heart of the New Madrid. It was a powerful journey. And I did a live that night, and people on that live were telling me I looked like I was exhausted. See, even if I looked in wall sockets, I wouldn't know if anything is strange. I wouldn't know, you know? Whatever they've done, I knew the day before yesterday it was going to get bad. Because what they do is someone in a big SUV that I've never seen before parked in the garages in back. And what they do is they shut the door while they're in the garage. So there has to be a way to get from that garage into those apartments that I don't know about. But I've never gone over and looked. So of course I don't know about it. But whatever they got over there is bad. Because, and to be quite honest with all of you, them fucking succeeding in murdering me at this point would be a motherfucking blessing. That's the sad part about how I feel. I beg at night to God to let them just fucking kill me already. Because it's so awful. It's so awful. You know? Do I want to die? No. But this constant being fucking tortured, you know? There's not a fucking thing. Not that I can find. We don't have electromagnetic torture here. We have Voldemort with his magic wands that causes the Havana syndrome. It's all magic. And anybody who says that they're being bothered by it, even if they have fucking brain trauma, which it causes, which is probably causing my vertigo, it's all just mass hysteria. You know? Nothing to see here. I'm tired of it. But God has me here for a reason. God has me here for a reason. That's what I have faith in. God has me here. I don't know why I'm having to go through this. I asked for the cup to pass from my lips, and the answer was no. So what are you going to do? Argue with God? It doesn't go very well. When God pretty much figures out that you need to do something, there's no, I mean, you need to do it. That's just it. You know, many are so tired of this crap because I'm hardly the only one. You know, it fucks with your entire nervous system. It does. And it makes you sick. And it stresses you out because they're fucking murdering you. You know they're fucking murdering you, and no one will fucking listen to you that they're fucking murdering you. You know? God is keeping me. The only reason why I'm here is because that's the only plausible explanation. Heaven and God are the only plausible explanations. How have I gotten through all of this? You know? Everyone's story is different, but the targeting harassment is always the same. You know? The chances that they're coming at you is because for some reason you're some sort of threat to them. You know, you're some sort of threat. I'm definitely a threat to them, you know? And that's the whole thing, Sarah, is that you guys hear it, but what can any of you do? That's the issue, you know? I'm fucking going through this and I don't know what to do. You know, I don't have any answers. People come to me and say, I'm being targeted. What should I do? Suffer through it? That's the only shitty ass advice I can give, because that's the only thing I've learned how to do. You know? Many die. Many do die. You know? The majority dies. You know? What if we, in the audience, reported these things to the U.S. Marshals together? Dude, or I haven't done it yet because I haven't felt sick. I have felt too sick to do it. But U.S. Marshals, I've never reported anything to them. I forgot all about that they even existed, you know? And I think coordinating to actually have people, you know, it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take a stand, a coordinated stand of a group of people to actually make an issue, you know? They have city hearings from 20 years ago about people talking about this shit. You can go on my blog, davidshurter.com, and see the NBC News article where the Air Force went in front of Congress in 2006, said they had these weapons and that they were going to use them on American citizens to show the rest of the world they were safe. You can also go on my blog and see the official paperwork for the directed energy weapons that the Air Force told Congress they had. You can see all of it, you know? And then they want to pretend that it doesn't exist, or if anybody says, you know, I don't know what JAG is. See, that's just it. I don't know. All of this stuff is like out of my realm of experience, you know? davidshurter.com. Just my name, davidshurter.com. You know? And for those of you who want to know stuff that I've been involved with, there's a search engine on the right. Just go down a little bit. There's a search engine on the right. Type in people's names. You know? Type in people's names. Stuff will come up. You know? Stuff will come up. JAG is military justice. I am doing something constructive, dude. I've written a book. I'm trying to bring exposure to this. What the fuck are you doing other than coming under here with someone else's name? Because I don't think you're Tom Holland. You know? Just a fucking dickhead dumbass. And now they're all going to come in as a group. And that's how this shit works. You know? They're a bunch of goddamn, yeah, Tom Holland was Spider-Man, the actor. You know? It's just, and they think they're entertaining. They do. They think they're entertaining. Do you like that? Do you want me to take it off? Okay. It's still around your back legs. I'm not a big Tom Holland fan, you know? Little gay boy. That's what I think. You know, I don't mean to say that in a derogatory thing, but just, come here. He's not my style. Let's just put it that way. Not my style at all. Okay, let's take this off. There you go. But you like it. And so, thank you, Vanessa. Shining a light on darkness in our world and being brave enough to stand up is not nothing. Thank you. You know? I don't know what the Perry Bible Fellowship comic is. I should pray. I don't want to stay on here too long. Like I said, I was in Omaha today, so I'm exhausted. All I wanted to do was lay down when I was in Omaha. You know? All I wanted to do was lay down. And it's just been a long, intense day. You know? And I'm just tired of... Fuck, they can now break into my house and brag about specific shit that they've stolen. And who knows what else they've taken. You know? Who knows what else they've taken. Because I wouldn't know. It's not like I go around my house. I just will say that the conversation that I had, I didn't get Schlotsky's. I'm not a big Schlotsky's fan. I think they're greasy sandwiches, and at this point in time, grease was not what I was going to eat. And I didn't have any money. You know, I had $30 to my name, and I spent $28 in gas. And so, to be quite honest, I talk about it, but I had to get gas at Sam's, so I just went into Sam's. Because for $1, you can buy a hot dog and a pop. And so I spent $1 on lunch. I hate hot dogs, but at my, I can't be picky. You know, I can't be picky. Schlotsky's would have been $12. That's all my gas. You know, I had $30. Now I have like $1 and some change to make it to the end of the month. And then I have to come up with $500 damn near for my fucking utility bill. Until next month, it'll probably be another $100 added onto that. You know, pretty soon, by the time I'm done, I'll owe my entire fucking check to the utility company because they want me out of here. They want me gone. That's what they want. You know, they want to shut me the fuck up, and they're making my life a living fucking hell. And I am trying to hang on, but the stress that this shit incurs is just, and they never stop. They never stop. You know? Fuck, never breaking into my house. What's next? You know? They've already tried to blow up a goddamn gas station. That all got lied about. Then they murdered my friend and posted all kinds of shit. Nothing ever happened out of that. So now they're breaking into my fucking house. What's next? You know? What's next? What do I get to deal with next? You know? The Dead Isaac Cappy Club. Lucian Greaves in the Satanic Temple. The meth heads next door. They're all around me, you know? They could at least do the dishes. They don't do shit. They don't take out my garbage. They feed my fucking dogs peanut butter, you know? By the fucking buttloads. They haven't kept me alive. They've tried to murder me over and over and over and over. God has kept me alive. They just don't know how to show up at my house and fucking shoot me in the back of the head and call it a suicide like they do everyone else. Because I do these, you know? I live on a secure compound with 8 dogs. I have 3 dogs that are so friendly, they love everyone. There is no compound for me, you know? And they're so focused on my finances. They're so focused on my finances. Everything, you know? My dogs are like me. They've only had love their whole life, you know? Yeah, I have my dogs. Of course, the dude from the fire department just tried to fucking poison them by throwing those silicone packets on the ground, you know? So they've tried to kill my dogs, too. They just do whatever the fuck it is they want to do, you know? They just do whatever the fuck it is they want to do. And there are people in here who are getting all the shit because I just send out the emails and then I take pictures of shit and screenshots of shit. Hoping that everything is going to work out. Sounds great. Didn't work so well for Isaac Cappy. Didn't work so well for Owen. Didn't work so well for Lori King. Didn't work so well for Max Spears. Hoping that everything works out, they usually end up dead. So, you know, I can't set bear traps. Are you kidding? It would hurt my own dogs, you know? Because they'd, of course, want to know what the fuck they were. They wouldn't leave them alone, you know? There are no easy answers to this. There's no easy, pat answer. And so, yeah, exactly. That's the reason why the detective asked me why I didn't just smash that fire alarm instead of just putting it outside. And the reason why I did it is because I told him, dude, I am not lucky with any of that stuff. It's great. I smash it. Then something hits me and cuts my face, or goes into my eyes, or hurts my dogs, or goes off someplace else and breaks something else. You know, I'm not very good at the destructive kind of stuff. You know, criminals have rights. They have more rights than I do. Fuck, they can murder my goddamn friend and brag about it. They can break into my house and steal shit and brag about it. You know? And they're okay. They can blow up a goddamn gas station like they did early in Iowa, gas station explosion, and it's just all okay. You know? It's all okay. They can raise my utility bill $100 every single month, and it's just all okay. And that's why I get irritated with the thoughts and prayers thing. You know, thoughts and prayers are great, but it ain't going to keep my utilities on. It's not going to help me feed myself. And if I could go get a job, you know, I volunteered for years. That's what they never, I volunteer all the time. Volunteer all the time. Because I couldn't work a job where I had to be there 9 to 5 every day. PTSD won't allow that. But to go in and help when I can, fuck, I was helping all the time. Have helped all the time. Volunteer my time for everybody because I figure I have enough time. I could help people, you know? But none of that fucking matters. But if I had a job, they would just make me lose it, you know? They don't sleep. There's a fucking army of them. And they're on meth. Fuck, I can get up and take my garbage out at 3 o'clock in the morning and then all their lights are on, you know? And they watch as I come and go. Because the only thing that separates us is a fucking alleyway. So there's not even 50 feet from us. We're not 50 feet. They can't be more than 20 feet away from my own door. And they're right. They watch as I come and go. You know? And they break into my house and steal shit. And then they brag about it. You know? What difference does it make if I turn my phone on or off? It's with me. And they watch me. You know? And then they brag about doing all their crimes. They brag about it. They fucking bragged about murdering Owen. That's what all those live videos of Harlan was. You know? And what does a safe do? You know? What does a safe do? They do. They get off on this creepy ass shit. And they think it's funny. You know? They can traffic and murder kids and they're still fucking safe. They're still okay. Because that's the whole thing about this. That's the reason why they're always on top of me and they're always after me. Because I'm trying to expose their fucking child killing ring. Their child trafficking operation. That's what they're hiding. So they, as fucking child killers, have more rights than the victims. You know? And that's the reason why I say, fuck, I don't need to prove anything. Why do I need to prove it? They fucking brag! What's there to prove? If I know it, if I don't know it, they're just gonna brag. Just like they did this morning. They want me to know. So it's not like I don't know. They go out of their way to let me know. and then go out of their way to tell me how safe they are and how my police are protecting them. You know, I don't mean to yell, but I'm just, and it's giving me a freaking headache again. It was the wrong thing to do to yell. I do feel better. I'm drinking iced tea, so the caffeine does help. Caffeine helps with the headaches. I don't know why, but it does help with headaches. And I don't mean to yell. I don't know what to do anymore. You know? I just don't know what to do anymore. And they just laugh and throw it in my face. And then I do these lives. And they come in and laugh and throw it in my face. You know? So they can do whatever fucking criminal shit they want to me and then laugh and brag about it. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, you know, I don't want to turn the other cheek anymore. And I certainly don't want God to turn the other cheek. Which makes me feel bad. But with that said, I'm going to pray because I'm going to get off here at 1:30. Now that I yelled, now I'm feeling sick all over again. You know, I don't know what to do anymore. So, no, they won't be laughing. They won't be laughing in the dark, let me tell you. It would be ideal if some newspaper, like that's going to happen. You know? I send it off to people all the time. You know? It's hard to think that people care. You know? It's hard to feel like I'm not in this all alone. You know? Never say never. That's true. That's true. Never say never. And God works in mysterious ways. So I'm going to pray if that's okay, guys. I just want to pray. Heaven, we come to you as your children. I come to you as your child. I don't know why our paths have to be so difficult. And this has been nothing but difficult. And it is hard not to get angry at their bullshit. You know, even though them stealing that laptop, I mean, I'm more angry about the leather satchel that they stole along with it than I am about the laptop. But still, the violation, I'm so tired of it. And I'm begging for help financially. I know that heaven usually doesn't work in those terms, but I don't know what else to do. And I have animals, and we're in an Arctic freeze. So when they shut my shit off, because I'm not going to be able to keep this up, you know, and they're doing it because they're protecting child killers. And it's hard not to be angry about that. You know, it's Peppermint Patty is doing it because she's involved in that fucking meth operation. And she wants to protect it. You know? And so I'm tired of being the doormat. I feel like a fucking doormat. And it's terrible because I shouldn't feel that way. You know? And I know that. It's not that I'm not grateful for the things that everyone has done, especially heaven. The reason why I'm still here is totally the only plausible explanation is God. You know, you have helped so much. And I am eternally grateful that you sent your son, our brother, Jesus Christ, to teach us about the word. Because at least I got some sort of direction away from those fucking devil lovers. You know, I can't thank you enough. Your son and his teachings of the word helped save my soul. And I can't be more grateful for that. You know, I can't be more grateful. No matter what's happening, in the end, at least I didn't lose my soul. And that's because of your son, our brother, Jesus Christ. And we just want to say we love you and we are grateful. And we say these things lovingly with our hearts full of gratitude in your son, our brother's name, Jesus Christ. All one. You know? So, with only a little bitchness, I think heaven is tired of me being a bitch. And now I need to go lay down, guys, because I don't feel well. After I yelled, I'm fighting. I'm afraid that the tea's coming up now. And the hot dog that I ate for lunch. And the vertigo is now really bad again. And my head is pounding again. I should have never yelled. You know, and I apologize. I know you guys probably don't want to watch me rant and rave. I don't even like watching when I'm ranting and raving. You know, it makes me tense. And it's me. And I will just say I really hope that the conversation that I talked to with that deputy today goes somewhere. You know, I really just hope that it goes somewhere. And I really hope that stuff starts getting, because it's not just about me. You know, if this was just all about me and the shit I went through, I would have dumped it a long time ago. But the shit is still happening to kids. You know, it's still happening. And it's so wrong. You guys don't understand how fucked up it is. And I can't explain it to you because it's so fucked up. You know? And when I say that this group is an abomination unto heaven, it is nowhere near an understatement. It is nowhere. You have no idea how seriously fucked up in the head and how soulless these motherfuckers are. You know? They have no soul and they revel in having no soul. They revel in the dark. That's the reason why they're never going to change. Someone on here and I were having a conversation today. And they said they never, you know, pedophiles, they never get better. They never change. And I told them, you know, that's the most Republican part about me. When it comes down to what Republicans believe, that is something, because I only have one fucking solution for pedophiles. I think there's only one. And since I can't do that, I just ask God to have them claimed in the goddamn dark. And let me tell you, the dark is God damned. The full wrath of heaven is waiting for them. And exactly, freaking nature, exactly. And that is, I can't say it on here, but that's exactly what I said. Fucking child killers. I can't fucking stand them. And I dislike the people who will fight to protect them just as bad. That's the sad part about it. You know? You want to protect child killers, you want to protect those who protect child killers. You get what you fucking get. I'm sorry. You know? No, I'm not. That's just it. That's a lie. I'm not sorry at all. You get what you get. And I couldn't be happier about it. That's the sad part about it is, you know? And all the kids who sell their children, they don't even have to sell it for fame. They just sell their fucking kids, you know? I just don't care. Some name I can't even pronounce. Fucking anonymous. Dude, go fuck yourself. You know? And that's the reason why I told the deputy, go ahead and investigate me all you want. Look into every aspect of my life. You ain't gonna find shit. Because I'm not a fucking criminal. You know? If I was, they would have already found it. Because they just stole a fucking laptop out of my house. You know? They're desperately searching for shit that they'll never find because it doesn't exist. You know? It doesn't exist. I've thought about a haircut. I've decided not to. Get the fuck over it. You know? Oh, they won't even find any recipes on there. What they'll find is actually all their shit. Because it's just screenshots of all their shit. And videos that I made. Old videos of YouTube. Like I'm ever going to watch any of those again. You know? Like I would ever post them again. You know? The fact that they actually came into my house, stole shit out of my house, and then bragged about it. Talking about a 2005 Dell laptop today probably was not the brightest thing, but it did get me to call the cops. You know, it got me to call 911. It's taken a lot to get me to call 911 because I don't trust it. Do I hope that the deputy today actually was legit? Yeah, of course I hope it. Do I have very high expectations? No. Unfortunately, not at all. Unfortunately, not at all. It's easy to BS someone over the phone. You know, it's easy to fucking BS someone over the phone. I didn't want to call the non-emergency. I wanted to call 911. So there was an official complaint on a recorded line that they broke into my house, stole shit, and bragged about it. I wanted it on the 911 call. And when I called and said that, I said exactly that. I'm calling just because I want it recorded on a 911 phone call that I am complaining that they just broke into my house, stole a laptop and a leather satchel, and are now bragging about it through email. I wanted it on that 911 call and had already decided you ain't gonna put me on a non-emergency phone call. You know? You ain't gonna put me on a non-emergency. I did that last time. And what did your department do? Sent me to Council Bluffs to go search for an FBI office that didn't exist. I wasn't playing that game this time. And I told him that too on the 911 call. You know? I'm gonna be a bitch. What the fuck am I gonna do? I'm not Rambo. You know? I'm not Rambo. And again, what am I gonna do? Do a citizen's arrest? You know? Oh yeah, that would work well. You know? They're never in the house when I'm here. They have been. They have been. Now I have to put shit. I have to barricade my fucking doors when I'm in the house. You know, I have to barricade myself in my house. Because like I said, one time I was in the bathtub, listening to music, soaking in the bath. They came in my house while I'm in the bathtub and let one of my dogs outside. That's the kind of shit that happens. You know? So now I have to fucking barricade my fucking doors. You know how stupid it feels? You come to my house and then I have to unbarricade my doors. You know? But I have to do it so that if they come through the doors, I can hear it. You know? I need to put shit so that when they open the doors, shit falls down on the ground and I hear it. You know? Are you sure you're not just paranoid? I don't know. They came in and just fucking said that they were in my house and stole a computer that's gone. So what? The poltergeist that stole the computer told them so that they could send me an email about it? You know? But I did tell the police today. It is very hard not to be paranoid. But I don't believe that everyone in the world is bad. When I go out in public, I don't think that it's all them. You know? Most people are just normal, decent people. They're just normal, decent people. I just have a group of them who aren't normal and decent, who are on top of me, who break into my fucking house. I wish I was Gandalf. I wish I had the powers of Gandalf. You know? Maybe it was whatever you need to make it out to be to discredit it. You know? There's not drones around my house. Oh my God. They're all in here now. And they're all acting like fucking kids. And they think that everyone is going to respect their opinions because they think that their stupid ass comments are going to get respect. You know? Shit, my life is in danger all the time. But unfortunately, with my sheriff, you know the reason why I won't go to my sheriff's office and make a report in person? Because I'm afraid my sheriff will shoot me dead at the sheriff's office and then say I came in there with some sort of weapon or something. You know? I don't trust them. You know? I don't trust them. How long has this been happening? My whole life. But they just blew up a gas station, an Earling, Iowa gas station years ago. You know? Some dude calling me Fudge Man, saying that I look like Charlie Manson. You know? Maybe. I'm not. You know? It's so weird. They say the stupidest shit and think everybody is just gonna, they think that they amuse themselves with their idiotic comments and their idiotic behaviors and think everyone else is so amused by that, you know? And I'm not amused. I don't find any of this amusing. I never have, you know? Dude, I've been in therapy for 25 fucking years. You need to get a fucking life and stop giving people randos that you go on there live like you have fucking some sort of knowledge. You're a fucking dumbass, you know? It's just sad. It's just sad, you know? Yeah, therapy stops stalkers. Therapy helps me deal with the shit, you know? Therapy helped save my fucking... Owen was a therapist, you know? Owen was a therapist. I'm afraid of drugs. I'm afraid of mushrooms. The most that I ever do is pot. That's all I've ever really done. And who the fuck has money for it? You know? Who the fuck has money for it? That's the saddest part about it, is that through all of this stuff, I've been stone cold fucking sober. You know? Stone cold sober. Pot helps with PTSD like no other. It's the best fucking thing. But I can't afford pot. I can't afford food. You know? It's the drugs. Drugs make the ghost steal the laptop. Exactly. Whatever fucking excuse they need to tell themselves. Oh, it's drugs, you know? And now he's in as Poopy Head. Same picture. Do you have a job? That's what I'm saying. They're very focused on my finances. They're very, very focused on my finances. And they never, never stop. And with the vertigo, shit, I can't even drink wine. You know? Not that I'm, hunt for food. Where the fuck am I going to go hunt for food? You know? Sorry, but I'm not a hunter. You know? I do grow vegetables in the summertime. You know? Best therapy is Jesus. The whole thing about it is a lot of times I, on Audible, got the New Testament, but it's read by James Earl Jones. It's the coolest version of the New Testament. And I love listening to it. I love listening to it. Well, it's all great. Okay, I'll go fish in someone's pond and then get arrested. All of these trite little fucking nothing answers doesn't help. You know? They're just kind of dumbasses, you know? There are no answers. There are no answers. And the gang stalking has gotten super bad. Not just for me, like Granny Omaha says. You know? Gang stalking groups are in the spotlight as of late, but today for some reason it was, it's been hard. Thank you, Katie. I just know how to grow vegetables. You know? I don't know if they're good or if they're bad. In the summertime, I can go, because they sell corn around here, you can get 13 ears of corn for $6. You know, if you have any goddamn solutions, dude, I'm more to help. Other than criticizing me for pointing out the problems, I would love solutions. If you have a solution, go ahead. Offer a solution. You know? Otherwise, your comments that basically are just meant to actually be degrading, you can go fuck yourself. And now TJ Booger is back because he switched his name. Oh my God. The sad part about it is that these idiots have no life. They have no life. They're incels. It's not like they have partners, because no girl or guy wants anything to do with them. That's the reason why they have the issues that they have. You know? I'm going to turn in for the night as well. It's 6:15 and I'm exhausted. And I don't feel well. I am working. I am. Thank you, freak of nature. I'm trying to share everything. You know? I'm trying to actually get the information out. I might not survive. They might end up taking me out. But if my shit can help someone else and expose this to save other people, so be it. Because aren't we plant seeds. That's what we're here for. That's what our life is all about, is planting seeds. For trees that you may never be able to appreciate the shade of. You know? Are the judges backing the sheriff? I would assume so. The sheriff is just what I know, but then I don't know shit. Because it's not like I hang out with those people. You know? It's not like I have conversations with Neil. The last time we saw each other was at the beginning of summer. We ran into each other. I was coming out of Hy-Vee and he was going in. And I didn't say a word to him. I nodded at him and walked away because what he expected me to actually confront him in front of Hy-Vee. But the thing was, is that I had the board and all the paint. I had all the shit to make a new sign for my front yard in my car. And so I didn't want to talk to him. I was going home to make a new sign, to put a new sign in the front of my house. And so, you know, they're going to have a problem with the whole mental health thing since I've been in therapy for 25, 30 years. And I can show these videos. No one is going to watch these videos and think I'm crazy. I just don't come off as crazy. Angry, maybe a bit of a dickhead, but I don't come off as crazy, you know? And so, not any crazier than anybody else, you know? I have my own thoughts on things that people might not agree with. Yeah, seeds. And thank you. I'm going to just call you nature because I don't want to call you freak. But I'll call you nature. Very coherent. Blissful, coherent. Yes. You know, just because you don't like what I'm saying, just because what I'm saying makes you feel uncomfortable, does not mean I'm crazy. You know, be salt and light. Exactly. I actually got someone to watch Godspell. They told me about it today. And they loved it. They loved it. You know, I watched it the other night. It's still in my VCR. Or my VCR. Fuck. I don't have a VCR. I have a DVD player like everybody else. A Blu-ray player. But I think I'm going to watch it again tonight. You know? I love Godspell. It's just the message. You know? Oh, I'm sorry about sinus infections. Ooh. Actually taking salt water and jamming salt water up there does help. I've had sinus infections. I just haven't been sick for a very, very long time. I mean, yeah, this vertigo and stuff, but this is all being done to me. I caught COVID 3 or 4 months before it was even a thing. I got sick on Christmas. That's the last time I've been sick, and that was before COVID was a thing, you know? And the only reason I know I got COVID is because it was where I was volunteering. And the older woman and I both got sick at the exact same time. And then the woman who runs it ended up getting sick a week later, and she went to the doctor and had a battery of tests. They told her what she had was allergies. And I told her that's stupid. How do I, and I'm not going to say her name, get sick? So it's allergies, and then all of a sudden we get better and you get allergies and you're sick. So you caught our allergies, you know? It made me have I had this cough that it actually really didn't hurt, but everyone around me thought it did because it was so awful, you know? So awful. I didn't have brain fog and stuff, but I had this weird ass cough that was like at the bottom of my soul. When I coughed, it made other people uncomfortable because it sounded like it hurt so bad. It's amazing with all the stress that I'm under that I'm not sick more. But then again, I pray. You have to understand, because I've been disabled and I was raised to believe that I was the vessel for the Antichrist. I wake up talking to heaven. I spend the whole day talking to heaven. I pray. I journey all the time. My whole life, every day, is about heaven. All of it. It always has been. You know? And, you know, thank you, Vanessa. You know? I didn't get that. I'm just going to say that there's another pandemic on the rise. There's another pandemic on the rise. This bird flu is incredibly dangerous. That's how the Spanish flu started. It went from bird flu into pigs and then into humans. And it's already into humans. What, one person, two people have already died from it. You know, we get a normal pandemic every 100 years. If you look back at all the pandemics that mankind has had, about every 100 years we get one. You know, exactly. Earthquakes, bird flu, wildfires, tornado, hurricane. We're in the end. We're in the end. God is getting ready to answer. You know, power is in the tongue, Vanessa. I totally agree with that. Speak life over yourself. And they do try to spread panic. Panic and fear. It's easier to control people, especially when you want them to do nasty shit after you make them scared. And, you know, and people are terrified of each other. You know? Dreams and visions. That's why I journey. That's why I journey. It's a waking dream. I go through dreams and visions. And I'm telling you, the journey that I just talked about, and I think it was the live before last, what I did the morning before last, lopping people's heads off with that sword and then shoving that sword, being Father telling me to shove that sword in the center of the New Madrid. I knew it was a powerful journey. I just didn't understand what I was doing. But then the very next day, finding those screenshots, it was a community post by Dutch Sense showing all of the earthquakes that we've had in the United States in the last 7 days and how they're exactly following the whole outline of the North American craton. And so maybe Carrie Lake is from Iowa. Oh my God, I didn't know that. That explains so much. So much. You know? So much. Well, I should get off here. I also have to feed my dogs. Last night they didn't get fed at night, so they're just worried that they're not going to get fed tonight. That it's a new feeding schedule. But I was so sick yesterday. You know, I feel better now because I got out and about, because I got the fuck away from my house. You know? But yesterday I couldn't drive. I was afraid to even, I couldn't walk across the room. I almost fell down the stairs. That was scary. I turned around too quick. And thank God I grabbed a hold of that banister because I almost fell down the stairs. And I would have seriously, I mean, it's not like I have big staircases, but I can't imagine that it would have worked out well for me. So, anybody wants to buy a book, I guess I don't get a shot. No. I'm not a big fan. And to be quite honest, I went to my doctor when everyone was taking those COVID vaccinations because I've had the flu vaccination twice. The first time I got the flu vaccination, I got so sick, and I was sick for 2 weeks from that shot, from the flu shot. This was years ago. So everyone told me, "Oh well, you must have already been coming down with the flu when you got the shot." So someone convinced me to do another flu shot like a year or two after that, and the same shit happened. I got the shot and it made me sick. And I was sick for 2 weeks, and I mean seriously sick. So when my doctor out here, when everyone was getting the vaccinations, I went in for my checkup and I asked her, should I get this shot, this COVID vaccination? Because I've had the flu vaccinations twice, and both times I got seriously super sick. And my doctor ended up walking into the room and closing the door so that no one could hear her. And then told me, then stay away from the COVID vaccination, because if the flu shots are going to have made you sick, I have a feeling this one will make you sick as well. So I never got the vaccination. And you want to know what? I've been exposed. I caught COVID 3 or 4 months before it was even a thing. I was sick in December, and they didn't start coming out and talking about it till March or April of the next year. And since then, I have been exposed to people with COVID over and over and over. I had dinner with someone who had COVID, was just coming down, actually got sick with COVID on the car ride home from my house, eating with us, and I never got sick. You know? I'm just, thank you, Vanessa. And if you can't, I understand. I understand. I'm not in this boat by myself. It's right now I'm kind of desperate. Right now I'm desperate. And everything right now is going to go for those stupid utilities. They want $500 for my utilities. My bill has never been $500. Has never been $500. They're just doing everything they can to make my life a living hell. And it's working. I would never do anything to myself. Just let me make that clear. But Isaac said that, his last video, and look at what fucking happened to him. Yeah, my bill, my utility bill, I just got the bill today. $489. I posted the video that I posted this morning. I showed what I got. It shows how much it is. And it's just me in the house. And there are people who live in much bigger houses, like people in my bank, live in town with families and don't pay anywhere near what I pay. If I could get a big RV, I would consider it. But I have 3 big dogs that are old. There's no way. There's no way. There's no easy solution to this. There's no easy solution. And I'm doing what I think I can do. I'm doing the only thing I can think of. I'm doing the only thing that I can. There's no way I'm pitching a tent with 3 dogs, and a snake. The issue is that if I was out, they would just come get me and kill me. At least here, they can't just show up and kill me. And they are cooking me alive. They are. I will never do anything to myself, because can you imagine what I would face if I hurt myself on purpose and then had to go face God? Oh my God. Oh my God. There's no way. There is no way. Because there's no way. But I will tell you, like last night, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and I was sobbing and begging God. Just let him kill me already. Just please let this be over. Can't you have mercy and just let me die? But then heaven doesn't want to do that, because heaven knows I don't want to die. So I'm begging for something that I don't even really want. But it's just because I don't want to die. I like life. I went out today. People like me. I like. Oh, it just reconnected. So God only knows how much you guys got of that and how much. But thank you. I'm real, and that's why I'm in this position. I think that's why God has me here, because heaven knows I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to back down. I'm never going to back down, because what they're doing is wrong. And if I backed down and looked away, it would make me complicit. And I'm not. I will never be complicit. I'll never look away from this. And so I have to keep doing what I'm doing. And as big of a whiny bitch as I can be, and I am a huge whiny bitch when I journey sometimes, because all I do is journey and go over and bitch at heaven, you know? And so I do, heaven knows that I'm not going to stop. And then I'm going to pull up my bootstraps and just keep going. Because what can you do? When you ask for the cup to pass from your lips and the answer is no, what can you do but just keep going on? You know? Argue with God? That doesn't seem to work very well. You know? But I have faith, you know? I have faith. And I think everyone else should too. You know? The pain is real in this meat suit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And but let me tell you, it's over. If they end up shutting my shit off, I'm going to freeze to death in this house because I'm not going anywhere. I won't go anywhere. So my dogs and I will freeze the fucking to death in my own goddamn house. And then they can explain to people why they let me freeze to death with my dogs in my own house. I ain't going anywhere. I'm not running. I've ran. I've tried to run over and over and over. I ran to Washington. I ran back to Iowa. And you want to know what happens? They're waiting there for you every single time. You know? It says that I've been on this live for 2 hours and 49 minutes. So what? Did I just lose everything that I've done? I'm going to get off here, people. I hope I just didn't lose everything that I did for 2 hours. Because it says right now, my clock says that I've been on live for 3 minutes and 9 minutes. 3 minutes and 11 seconds. I'm good. Okay. I told you that everything, it said it was reconnecting. You know? I'm not spreading lies, dude. Stop trafficking kids. Geo. Daniel. Whatever sewer club member you are. Stop trafficking kids. You know? Oh, that's a good idea. That terracotta thing. I've heard of that before. I'll probably be on Friday. I try not to do these every day, even though lately, you know, and I'm glad you guys caught the live, you know. Oh my God, I so would not. See, this is how it works with me. I've tried. The last time I was in the throes of a divorce, and the divorce, almost killed me. I almost tried. I took 120 Xanax. 3 days later, I had enough Xanax in my system to actually kill a person. And my doctor looked at me, when I went and checked myself in, looked at me and said, "What happened? What happened the next day after you took 120 Xanax?" And I told him I woke up in the morning so refreshed. I had like the best night's sleep I'd ever had. Only took me taking 120 Xanax. And he was just like, "Dude, you shouldn't be alive now, let alone 3 days ago." And so when he told me that, I realized I'd be one of those people who jumps off of a fucking huge ass tall building and hits the ground and bounces a couple times and then wakes up the next day. There's no fucking way. You know? There's no way. Oh my God. Like, these people don't have anything better to do with their lives. you know? So there's no way. It might be. I could have died. No one knew. Fuck, I was alone at night. But I won't do anything stupid to myself because I have no expectation that it would work. In fact, I have expectation that I would live through it. So I would just be fucking myself. That's the reason why there's no way. There's no way. None. Zero. No way. You know? But I've had near-death experiences over and over and over. That's what they were doing as a kid. They were fucking drowning me, killing me, and then reviving me. And let me tell you, that shit hurt. You know, that shit hurt. They would drown me, and then they would revive me. And it hurt. But in the end, I knew what to do. I think that's the reason why Aquino was scared of me as an adult. Because under the age of 10, when they were drowning me, I just realized, fuck, they're going to drown me anyway. You know the easiest way to stop it? Just take a deep breath. Force yourself underwater to take a deep breath. Fucking worked every time, you know? Then it stopped. And suddenly, once I started doing that, they stopped drowning me. I was about, I don't know, 9, you know? 9. But they figured that people who had near-death experiences had a stronger connection to the other side. So these Nazis just decided to fucking take it to the extreme, like they always do. You know, took it to the extreme. I am protected for a reason. Heaven has me here for a reason. Without a doubt, the journey the morning before last, I would have never used that sword to cut people's heads off. It would have never even occurred to me to cut someone's head off with that sword. And yet that's exactly what Father did. That's exactly what Father commanded me to do. I spent a chunk of that journey cutting off their heads. And then all that energy that was in that sword, that was what, it wasn't the sword that heaven wanted me to jam into the heart of the New Madrid. It was all that energy that was on that sword from cutting all those people's heads off, you know? And that's, you know, I'd lived through it, exactly. My YouTube just restarted. It says that I've been on here for 8 minutes. That's why I said, oh my God, did I just lose everything? But you guys are telling me no. So I am going to end this. But it's always this time that the shit starts getting good. Because you guys actually start talking. And that's when I really enjoy these. Not when I'm ranting and raving and bitching about the stuff that's going on in my life. 2 hours. Thank you, Sherilyn. I like it when people start talking and there's interaction and, you know, because really these YouTubes are not just about me. I mean, you guys might disagree with me, but when I think about these live things, I think they're like for all of us. I come on here because I like to do all, you know, the last one that we had that I talked about, the last live that I did, I mean, the first hour and 15 minutes was awful because they were on top of me. But after they went away and there was interaction with all of us and we were all talking about the really cool shit, like the new garden and what's going to happen when we all get to the new garden and all that, man, it was like an amazing live. You know, and that's what I like to focus on. That's what I like to talk about. And if I knew all this shit was being investigated, you know, I could let it go and we could talk in. You won't be breathing in some joy, Saki. In the new garden, every breath you take will be joy. Every breath. When you sleep, you will breathe joy. When you're awake, you will breathe joy. You will breathe joy for an eternity. You know? Longer. Because that doesn't stop. Once you're on the new garden and you're breathing joy, that's it. And there's no death. You know? There's no death. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So different than what it is now. So different. And that's why I keep, I'm glad that it's starting to ring true, because it is true. The other side. Get rid of all of their dogma that everyone's fighting over. It's funny because they can say whatever they want, but I've said over and over and over, you can argue the Bible till you're blue in the face, and I'll agree. But the one thing you never hear them arguing about is what Jesus Christ taught. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and what Jesus Christ says. They never argue about that. It's always everything else, They dance about breaking the law. They do. Bible Karens, they do like to treat heaven like an HOA. And heaven is an overindulgent parent. Just, you can do whatever the fuck you want and it's always okay. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Fill your heart with love. Just what Jesus Christ taught us. Let me point out, the stuff that I talk about is not original. It's not stuff I made up. It's not stuff that just comes from me. I'm just reiterating what we've all been told. The truth that we all know, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Now ask me tomorrow and I might argue. Because this shit that I'm going through now is terrible. But you want to know what? I do these lives because I figured there are people out there who know what I'm talking about because they're going through the same thing. And if I can give them a little bit of mercy, because they don't give us mercy. And if I can help them out, if I can help anybody going through this at all, I can't stop it. I can't stop it. But maybe if I can just let everyone know, you're not alone. And yeah, the shit sucks. And they suck. But that is about them. And they may have us under their thumb. And they may have their shit on top of us. But they don't have our souls. Which is what they want. And they can't, because we won't allow it. We'll go through all of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to spit there. We'll go through all of it because we figure God needs us to go through it for some reason. Don't understand it. Don't like it. Wish it was something different. But if God needs us to go through it, then I think we're all in an agreement. We'll go through it. If that's what heaven needs, that's what faith is all about, And I'm just, I do feel, Sarah, I'm the same way. I feel alone all the time. I can't be close to anybody. That's the reason why. What are they going to do? Go murder people that I know out and about who work in places? It's not like we're friends. Gonna go murder all the people up in Hy-Vee, are you? Maybe Fairway. Go to the fucking quilt shops. Maybe there's some people at Goodwill that I'm friendly with. Maybe you want to go murder them too. Shit. I'm alone not because I want to be alone, but because I care about people. There are people in my life. Trust me, there are people in my life, and they know the danger. Exactly, Saki, exactly. Sherilyn, cognitive. Just, there are people who are here who just don't give a shit, you know? And I know, and I'm not mentioning all of you, I just mentioned three, but there's more, you know? There's so many more out there. And they care, you know? Right, nature. You talk about this stuff and people look at you. You can show them all the proof that you want. You can show them all the proof that they want, that you want. They could see a video. That's why I said they could post a video of them murdering Owen and someone would tell me how they're trolling me, or it doesn't make any difference, or I need to get over it. Because really what it is that they're all controlled by their own cognitive dissonance. They tell themselves that it's not true because that's what they want to believe, because it makes them comfortable. You know, I'm glad you found me from a blog. They're either involved or they don't know. In the Michigan cases, the Oakland Four. Do you know that the Oakland Four happened 10 years before Franklin came out? But Franklin was on the verge of coming out back then. That's the reason why you have the Oakland Four. You know? And my dad had a plane. He was a pilot. He flew everywhere. You know? They fucking murdered those four kids and laid them out and displayed them. If ritual stuff. And it was all part of the group in Omaha, Nebraska. It was my dad. My dad was from Michigan. My dad's family owned Cassopolis. That's where he was from. I never knew Johnny Gosh. I know that my father was involved with Johnny Gosh. I know my father was involved with the abduction, the group that my father was involved with, the Aquasino brothers. I also know that Noreen Gosh could have busted this open many, 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 many years ago and never has. She's a gatekeeper, you know? And again, get a job. They're so focused on me. And I guess it took him time to sign up for another dumbass account, you know? Paul Bonacci and Troy Bonner were bad. Bad. Troy Bonner was a bear boy. Alan Bear sent Troy Bonner and Paul Bonacci, and no one even knew who Paul Bonacci was, sent them around Alicia Owen. And why did they send those two around Alicia Owen? Because they were the ones, because Alicia Owen was the one to break open all of this in the 80s. She was carrying Chief of Police Omaha, Chief of Police Robert Wadman's baby, and she was 15. So Paul Bonacci and Troy Bonner, I never met Paul Bonacci. I knew Troy Bonner well. We fucking hated each other. They sent them around her, and their little act is the whole reason why, hey, cognitive, their little act is the whole reason why the grand jury called it a great hoax, you know? I need to do that. Hey, cognitive. Now, of course, I'm going to stay on here for a little bit longer because now cognitive comes in. I should get off here. This is going to be like a 3-hour video, you know? I try to keep them to an hour, see how well that works. Because you guys come in here and then all of a sudden it's back to 2 hours. And now cognitive is, don't go away, cognitive. Otherwise I'm going to, you know. Paul Bonacci actually went to jail for molesting a boy. Paul Bonacci, do you know what he told me? On franklinfiles.net, he told me that he was cured of his little multiple personality thing because he went to a priest, an Omaha priest, 5 times. And that priest cured him of multiple personalities after 5 times, 5 sessions. Alan Bear was never military. Yeah, that's not how therapy and integration works. You know, it doesn't work that way. You don't have a priest pray over you 5 times and it goes away. You know, and now he has a successful landscaping business in Omaha. Yeah. You know, it's just, it was crazy. All of the heroes that you guys have all been given, Franklin, John DeCamp, Paul Bonacci, Noreen Gosh, all of those people, all fake. Again, if it was actually about kids being abducted in the old market, which is what was happening, they would have focused on Todd Beckett and the case with Todd Beckett and the fact that his parents from Council Bluffs, who were poor, had to hire Danny Whelan as a private detective to go find their son because the Omaha police were convinced, telling everybody he was a runaway. So that happens in the old market in Omaha. But what do we have? Franklin and all the shit that was going on in Omaha is now focused on an abduction. 1 of 3 that happened in another town in another state. So everybody's focused on that and all of the heroes that are connected with that and all the bullshit that they talk about. Someone, and you know who you are, was kind enough to send me, I got a package today. And what was in that package? But 3 dog vests. And my dogs have never worn vests because I can't afford to clothe them in vests. And let me tell you, I put them on and the girls won't let me take them off. Moonshine was fine because it was kind of a pain in the ass for Moonshine. I think the, you know, but the other 2, they won't let me take them off. And they're here right now. That's why I'm going to have to get off here because they are fading away. They are starving. If I don't feed them right in the next 2 seconds, they're going to fade away to nothing. Can you come up and show your pretty vest? All right, here, I'll move a little bit. All right, come here. Come on up. You want to come up? Show your vest? Okay, I'll show her. Just... They just want to eat. Oh, that reminds me. I pulled out a rat. So I have a rat thawing out in my refrigerator I have to give her tonight. Thank you for reminding me of that. Johnny is not still alive. They murdered Johnny Gosh the minute he became a national news story. As soon as his face was everywhere, they got rid of him. There was no way they were going to let that kid live and possibly expose their entire organization. It doesn't even make any sense. Johnny Gosh was murdered. That's the reason why he's never reappeared, you know? And so, okay, come on. Okay, so show your pretty vest.
Show your pretty vest. Oh, thank you for those cases. Thank you for those cases. Jeff Gannon is not Johnny Gosh.
The thing about Johnny Gosh and Jeff Gannon and is Johnny Gosh was supposed to have visited Noreen Gosh. She said her son came and saw her at 27 years old. So why did nobody? They are. That's I think why they like him, because I keep the house at 58, and now they have these little vests on. They're so warm, and she feels so pretty. She's just so happy, you know.
Oh, you are a big pain in my butt. You is a big pain in my butt. Okay, I'll feed you in a minute. Are you starving? You're starving. Oh, okay.
Okay, guys, I gotta get off here because oh yeah, their breath isn't bad. What is bad is when they fart in the middle of the night under the covers. And then I roll over and move, and that toxic waste. and the sad part about it is that it never fails. The one that farts is always the one that has their butt closest to my face. It's just, you know, ugh. Anybody who wants to buy a book, $30. I'm desperate at this point. I don't know how I'm going to pay a $500 phone bill, or an electricity bill, utility bill. I don't know how I'm going to do that and feed myself and my dogs at the same time. I'm just don't want to think about it. And you know, I know I prayed, but I'm going to just do a quick prayer before I get off here, if that's okay. I mean, it's 2 prayers, but whatever, you know. Heaven, we come to you as your children. We just want to thank you. I thank you for tonight. To be quite honest, if I didn't have starving puppies, I probably would have stayed on here another hour. I just appreciate the support. Just knowing that I'm not alone, and I want other people who watch this to know you're not alone. There are those of us out here who understand, especially the Targan, not just with the weapons, but the gang stalking and all of the weird ass bullshit from these people who have no souls. We come to you and we just want to tell you thank you. I want to say thank you. And I'm in desperate need of a miracle. So, but again, I don't want to go crazy with that. I want to thank you to the person who sent me the dog vests, because it's been fun to watch them prance around. They are just so happy and so proud, and it's been fun to watch. And so we say we're grateful that you sent your son, our brother down, Jesus Christ, to help teach us about the word, and then to show us how to emulate the word by leading by example. And we can't say thank you for your son enough. And we say these things gratefully and lovingly in your son's name, our brother, Jesus Christ. Amen. And so it is D. Shurter. The Venmo, PayPal and Venmo are just D. Shurter. They're $30. Tell me who I'm inscribing it to. Tell me where I'm sending it. And my PayPal or my Venmo are just simply my first initial D, my last name Shurter. And just, you know, I know it's reversed. But it does, I mean, come on, you guys can read it. It's not like it's hard. It's not reversed Aramaic or anything like that. But It's just D, then SHUR, T as in Tom, ER. And the $30, just let me know where I'm sending it to and then who I'm inscribing it to, because I always sign them. I think that that's part of the cool thing of getting a book from an author who actually wrote it, you know, having him sign it. I'm sorry about the earthquake. This is not the big one. It's just being caused by the big one. And she's giving me kisses. It cannot get enough of my attention right now. Because she is wasting away, you know? She was 135 pounds just a minute ago, and now she's 5. You know, she's if I wait much longer, she's going to just fade away. Even though she's just as happy and as proud of her little jacket. The girls love him. Moonshine was like, eh. Oh my God, sorry about that. All right, I'm coming. All right, I gotta get off here, guys. Blessings to all of you guys. And thank you so much. I feel better. At one point in time, I thought I was gonna vomit, but now I'm better. All 3 of my dogs are big, but she's the biggest. She's 135. She has to be mixed with something, because she's a black lab, but she's a female black lab, and she's 135 pounds. She is a big dog, but she is so loving, and she's just as pushy as get out. If I don't get to her quick, she's going to make this table tip over, because she knows that it's just... She is just a breathing. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta get off here. Thank you. Okay.